What's up, everybody? It's your show's favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Trey, and as usual, hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. Today, we're going to talk about the remaining parts of the conference finals in the NBA. But before we do that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Comment, tell anyone about the show. I'm trying to get the ratings up a little bit, just a little bit. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you wonder where you heard this before, that's because you've been listening to me Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I greatly appreciate you for your support. Now, we got here the Thunder and Spurs because the Cavs already lost to the Knicks. And it was a sweep, too. So we're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about that when we talk about the losers and the winners, okay? But the remaining games for the conference finals, what are my expectations? Well, honestly, we got two more games. And if you're paying attention, if you know, right? When I say two more games, obviously that means the Spurs win game 6, game 7, jump ball, anything goes. The reason why I think the Spurs win game 6, off top, there's, I guess, been a little controversy because Victor Wembanyama missed his press conference right after the game. Like, he missed that. Ooh, okay, fine. So the NBA has warned Wemby on not doing that again. Cool. And he seems like a pretty professional guy. I think he's going to come out and try to dominate. Now, keep in mind, out of the 5 games they've played, the Spurs have won when Victor Wembanyama has scored 30-plus points. He's had some 20-point games for sure, but they have won when he has scored 30 or more. Game 1, he scored 41, I believe, and then the game 4 that they played, he scores 33. So he does need to get a little closer to that 30-point mark in order for his team to be in a dominant situation because, again, he's one of the only players on this floor. We can say SGA too, but those two might be the only players that can really dominate the game of basketball. You could try to make an argument for Chet because of his height and mobility. I don't think Chet's there yet, personally. Defensively, maybe, but Wemby's also on the floor too, so it's very tough. But they're similar, bro. But we got two players who can dominate. So Vic is going to dominate this game. Those are my expectations for Victor Wembanyama. I also expect to see someone like De'Aaron Fox step up for the Spurs, personally. We need to see that. If Fox cannot step up respectfully, I have question marks about him and his future on this team, which, to be clear, I kind of already have it because you got players like Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper who are playing some good basketball. They played well game 1. They're young. They're up and coming. How long is Fox really going to be on the team? That's what people may be questioning, right? Or does his role change on the team? Now, he might be the best playmaker. Okay, in the last game, excuse me, he had, maybe 7 assists, 1 turnover. That's not bad. But this show is called Get a Bucket. While there's more important things, while getting a bucket is very important, there are other areas of the game that you're supposed to focus on. He does okay at playmaking. He is scoring guard, though. He got good athleticism, very quick. Utilize that. That's what we need to see, personally. Getting a pick-and-roll game between him and Victor Wembanyama, you should be able to do that, honestly, De'Aaron Fox. So I'm looking forward to seeing De'Aaron Fox turn it up a little bit. And also, especially in Game 6, somebody else is going to step up. Someone like a Harrison Barnes or a Keldon Johnson, I'm expecting them to step up, as well as in Game 7, too. But I expect the Spurs to win, especially because they're at home. They're trying to make sure they can extend the series. Honestly, the Thunder are kind of vulnerable right now. Even though they won Game 5 in decent fashion, Jalen Williams, at least as of right now, he's listed as day-to-day, right, game-time decision. A.J. Mitchell, as of right now, is listed as out. So those are two quality players for the Thunder. So for the Thunder, again, SGA, you're going to have to produce the way you've been producing. You've been playing well, especially after the first game. Chet Holmgren, you and Hartenstein both have to replicate what y'all did in Game 5. Because, again, Game 5, both of you all showed up, I believe. You got Hartenstein giving us 12 points, 15 rebounds. Chet Holmgren giving you 16 points, 11 rebounds. Both of y'all getting the block. We need to see that again. Because if you guys can't battle out Wemby, that's going to be a problem. Now, De'Aaron Fox, 8 assists, 1 turnover. Wemby, 6 rebounds. Julian Champagne, 8 rebounds. We need somebody else to start rebounding more. Dylan Harper got 6. I would like to look at Luke Cornett, especially if you're going to get in. If you're going to play 8 minutes, champ, I need more than 1 rebound from you. Like, we need to start winning those rebounding battles if we're looking at the Spurs, personally. Y'all got the height to do so. Y'all got the talent to do so. So let's do so. Let's start winning those hustle battles. And again, your shooters like Vassell and Champagne, y'all need to be able to shoot and knock down the shots. Because OKC they have a gang of folks out there ready to get saucy. You got Case and Wallace. You got even Isaiah Joe can get a bucket out there. Alex Caruso has been getting a bucket out there on a consistent basis, mind you. Like Jalen Williams can shoot the ball. And I'm not talking about J-Dub. I'm talking about the taller one. Like they have a bunch of players on this team that can shoot. Jared McCain, Lou Dort. Can the Spurs capitalize at home? But then can they also go to a game 7 and win? We got to wait to see. And I think after this game 6, that's going to tell us a lot. If it's a close game, I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in the Spurs because, again, OKC's a good team. But at the same time, because of the level of aggression they should have, right, I would like to see a little separation in the point total. Like when they won 103-82, I'd like to see something close to that. Or how the Thunder won 127-114. Like, give me a double-digit win. I don't want to see a close win like the 7-point win y'all had in the game 1. I need to see a little bit higher than that. A little bit higher. Because if not, again, no J-Dub, at least as of right now, no J-Dub, no A.J. Mitchell. Yeah, they just won with that same roster that I listed off. But again, you're at your home. And you need to win this game. You got to hit them. You got to hit them smoothing them out early. You got to be able to get a bucket. Y'all got to be able to stop. And keep in mind, too, Spurs last game went up, 19-0 at one point in time. Thunder came back. You can't have that happen. That part in itself, I get leads. They can come back pretty quickly. But they came back too quick, the Thunder meaning. So if I'm the Spurs, remembering all of that and saying to myself, look, we have to win game 6. Greg Popovich needs to be in the locker room saying we need to win game 6. Everybody need to be preaching to this team. And I get it. It's a young team. But game 7 for this very young team could speak volumes. It very well could. And it could definitely motivate them for next season, too. It could also motivate the Thunder as well, too. I would love to see what happens if the Thunder get knocked out. What does that look like next season? Because they come back healthy. And early in the season, they looked damn near unbeatable. The only team that really gave them problems were the Spurs. So again, ladies and gentlemen, when I'm looking at game 6, because I thought technically the Thunder needed to win game 6 more than the Spurs did. And they proved that they could. Kudos. I almost think the Thunder just need to close it out in 6. No, they do need to close it out in 6. I don't know if they need the win because they have the experience over the Spurs. Like the Spurs, if they had won game 5 and then lose game 6, all right, I still think they're okay. The Thunder, I think they need to win this game personally. Just a little bit. They can still bounce back for sure. But there's a part of me that does think they need to win this game, especially when we're talking about psyche going into game 7. Like this game 6 is pretty important. Also, you want to make sure you get your rest because going up against the Knicks, I understand both teams have good depth, but the Knicks just swept the Cavs. They are pretty refreshed, if I must say so. So again, ladies and gentlemen, game 6, I'm expecting the Spurs to come out and win this game. Both teams need the game to a degree. Obviously, the Spurs need it more than the Thunder. But I think the Thunder don't want to go game 7, even though it's back at their own home floor. I don't think you want to end up playing the Spurs too much. And the Spurs, y'all have to win 2 games. So how do you win 2 games in this series for the first time? That's what we got to wait and see. So, again, if the Spurs can do this, kudos, and we have a lot to talk about on the finals matchup. If the Thunder can close it out in game 6, we have a few things to talk about for that finals matchup. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am curious. Who do you all have winning Game 6? Do you have this going to a Game 7? And if so, who would be your X factors for Game 6? And who would be your X factors for Game 7? What are your personal expectations for the Spurs stars like Victor Wembanyama, like a De'Aaron Fox, like Stephon Castle, as well as OKC like SGA, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams if he plays, but players like that, what are your expectations? Let me know. I'm curious. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that does conclude the end of the episode. So please make sure to like, subscribe, comment, tell anyone who's anyone about the show. My name is Trey. I'm the host of Get a Bucket. I hope you're all having a good one. Take care.